Set to ease today for the 3.3 million Australian households with a home loan. According to Finder, 91% of economists are expecting the Reserve Bank to cut interest rates by 25 basis points later this afternoon. That would bring them down to 3.85% to 3.6%. And Jessica Brady is finance expert with view.com.au and joins us now with her thoughts. Jessica, good afternoon. We know some economists and experts were caught off guard last time. What do you think will happen with interest rates later this afternoon?
It is a great question, and you are right. Last month, they did surprise us and leave rates on hold. However, they were cautious because they were looking for inflation data. Since then, we have received inflation data that does put us within that target band. And as you've said, that says that we are very likely, I don't want to say guarantee because we never know, but I would say it's very, very likely that this afternoon the RBA will meet and reduce interest rates.
Jessica, you just mentioned there that crucial inflation data. How much will the RBA take that into account with what it does this afternoon?
Yeah, look, I think what we've seen from the RBA is that they want to be cautious and very gradual in their approach. So they just wanted to make sure that they had all of the information that they needed to, make the right call for the economy. They didn't want to do anything too quick or too rash. We do have that data. We are back to 2.1%. This does put us in good stead for the RBA to say, yes, we've reviewed all the data and we do think a cut is appropriate at this time.
Regardless of what the Reserve Bank does, we've already seen some banks already move on interest rates. So what do you expect them to do later this afternoon?
Look, I think it's a great question because RBA moving is one thing, and then we need to make sure that the banks are going to pass that on. My expectation is that the banks will pass it on and pass it on in full. But you're right, we have seen some out-of-market cycle changes in the last week or so from some of the majors. I guess that is the question. What will happen? Will they pass it on in full? But ultimately, what does that mean for you? If you are a mortgage holder, we see many mortgage holders, have what we call loyalty tax. They haven't reviewed their mortgage in a long time. It is a perfect opportunity if rates come down today to just do a quick review of your mortgage to make sure you are still getting the best deal for you. And if not, go back to your bank or your broker and ask for a better deal.
And Jessica, if the RBA does cut rates, what do you think this will mean for the property market? Great for mortgage holders, but do you think it will put further fuel on the fire?
Yeah, look, it's a double-edged sword because people who are in the property market already, they see property rises as a really great thing. Those that are sitting on the sidelines see it as hugely frustrating. And we have seen property prices continue to go up. So if interest rates do go down today, that is likely to see borrowing capacity increase. On top of that, though, we have seen the Senate recently pass the HECS legislative changes. And so by doing that, we've got a 20% reduction of HECS for HECS holders, but it's also means changes to the income replacement ratios. What that means is some cost of living relief, more money in the pocket for some HECS holders depending on their income, meaning that they may be able to borrow more again. All of this culminates to more people having potentially more money to be able to borrow. That in a tight market generally drives prices up.
Jessica, all will be revealed with the announcement later this afternoon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.